mastered their 2-minute drill in his first OTA. What a player.
Ready, 280. Mike 5-4. Get that quarterback D-line. Get that quarterback D-line.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
9 good yards here on the run, and now 3rd down. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They toss to Freeman. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized. The other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Ryan now off the bootleg. Got his man. That's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
He had to figure they'd try and get the ball to Julio early, and they did it right there. And it doesn't take a degree from MIT to know that, so you had to figure, what's up with the defense? You should know that that's coming right away.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
A toss play left. There goes Devontae Freeman. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Back now in Atlanta's 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Chance.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They run. Devontae Freeman. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now it's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Elliott. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Prescott now from the 50. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, second most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. Third and long for Prescott. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in Week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Facing short yardage on 3rd down, but he was able to pick up a very sizable gain.
He certainly was, and I think that maybe they were fooled a little bit because you and I both know this is a passing league.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Ryan. And he's going to go down again. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. To throw is Ryan. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action.
Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. In on the tackle, Devondre Campbell, Falcons' leading tackler in 2018. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. The first down carry by Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott looking for the end zone. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 29 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, these two teams battled through a scoreless first half. Finally, a breakthrough here in quarter number 3.
And I just wonder how that played for both of them psychologically, because when you battle through a scoreless